TSA personnel.
Oh my gosh.
Our private jet is just about ready, Mom.
Evan? Here. David?
Here.
Deborah?
Here.
Wendell?
Here.
Okay, my name's Bill. You can follow me in. Thank you, folks. Okay, we're going to start with row 1, folks. And you'll take that one.
This one has a tag too.
That was it? Oh. And then Deborah Wendell. Row 4.
Coming in, Mom?
I think this is you, Rip. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right there.
So all goes into the album.
Everybody, I'm here on my family's trip, pilgrimage, to bring Grandmacita home to Carterville, Illinois. Right now we are in Marion, Illinois, after a wild 2 flights to get here, with my mom and my sister. Are in the Comfort Inn over there. But when we parked, I happened to see this. I'm gonna go check out the Harley Davidson shop here. Maybe get a t-shirt.
That's before my day.
Yeah. You didn't do that with Lynn Carroll and Jenny and Joanne.
No.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Ed Gentry was, he owned a coal mine here in southern Illinois, Black Diamond Coal Mine. Brought in a lot of money. He had 3 sons, Wessie, Goose, and Dubin. Had a daughter also, I forget her name, but he gave each son a coal mine also,
Wow.
their own coal mine. And
Nice.
so Uncle Wessie is the one that I mainly knew because his daughters were Lynn Carroll, Jenny, and Joey, and they were my playmates along with Cora Lou. Uncle Wessie was a dear uncle. I loved him. He always drove around town in a Chrysler Imperial, with his arm out the window, and he looked pretty aerial. I mean, It's so impressive for Carterville when everybody else was driving around little dinky cars. Well, we're here to place my mother's ashes, her urn, in her gravesite next to Grandma and Grandpa Boren and Johnny and Joe Boren. And it's kind of
So it's kind of like the family cemetery of sorts.
It's a homecoming.
Yeah.
Right, it's a homecoming.
Okay.
Grandmacita is being put to rest, and I would like to be buried here also.
Okay.
And I wanted David and Debbie to see it. And it's a very nice old cemetery.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So probably right there where those other SUVs
Yes,
are.
I think that's them over there. Thank you so much.
And then her urn fits perfectly, and then this is the top of the vault that it's very heavy, so I'm gonna leave it for now, but you'll see it when we put the lid on. Yes, this
Let me get my hair around.
Sure.
I'll just stabilize the table for you, okay? Without doing some real investigation, we're not really sure, but
Well, I like the way you have it over there, that I should be on either side.
we thought that made the nicest layout for them.
Okay.
We either meet them out here or what have you.
What is this little thing?
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Grandmacita's candy that she would get me all the time. I think she ate that licorice one for me because I didn't like it.
I
But I don't know
remember.
if she really liked it, so.
She did. She loved the licorice ones. In fact, she liked the licorice jelly beans.
The jelly bean?
Yes.
I'm glad she liked it, but today I'm going to give her my favorite one. Yeah, so there
It's so sweet. We love you, Grandmacita.
we go. Gracias. Do you want a chocolate?
Yes.
Do you want the licorice?
Yes.
Get
In
the
honor of
licorice for it.
Grandmacita, I will eat the licorice.
Here's a lemon for me. And for you.
Yay, the licorice.
So,
Thank you. Love you,
Oh,
Grandmacita.
there's the chiclets. You might want to give each of
Oh,
us
yeah.
one, sweetie.
Good flavor.
I just wanted
Her middle name was Rose.
Yes.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my
Winter
mom's
Rose
middle name.
Potter Boren. Scott, is this dirt clay or is it just Illinois
This is a little bit of clay, yeah, because it's kind of tacky.
tacky?
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
No, I need help.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, look at it. Oh, wait.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. Fine. You know, it's probably the same sidewalk.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's this house, sweetie. This house.
This is Lynn Carroll's house.
Yeah, Lynn Carroll Gentry.
Lynn Carroll
with
Gentry.
Jenny and Joey and Uncle Wessie and Aunt Nellie Mae lived here. And go down the street and shoot this way. With me.
Yep.
Go in the street. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll turn toward the camera.
Okay.
And Lynn Carroll and I would, that was Lynn Carroll's room up there on the roof, second level attic. And I played with all my friends here, Ginny and Joey, and my cousins, Lynn Carroll, in the Gentry house. And I walked this sidewalk many, many times when we would come here to visit.
Yeah, because it goes all the way to
Grandma and Grandpa.
Grandma and Grandpa
at the end of
Boren's
the
house
street,
at the
yes.
end of the street.
And that's our next stop.
Next stop
Yeah.
is Grandma
you
and
for
Grandpa
listening.
Boren's.
This is Grandma and Grandpa Boren's house. Grandpa Boren built this house, and they raised their family, 5 boys and 5 girls. And I came here many times as a little granddaughter. My other grandparents would drive me up from Grand Tower, Illinois, and we would come here and stay. And then I would head up the street to the Gentry house to visit my cousins. But Grandpa Boren built this house. There used to be beautiful oak trees around it. On the corner here, big oak tree. They're gone now. Lots of, like that one in the back. You can see a big oak
Yeah,
tree in the
really
back.
big, yeah.
Then there was another big tree over here. One of my little friends, the Ledbetters, lived next door, and I played with Joyce Ledbetter too.
Same house?
Yeah, that same house. Looks all different now. But this is the Boren family home. Okay.
So mom would ride Hillbilly Jim, the Tennessee Walker horse, up this street, and she would ride it all the way to this house. Right? Where Grandma and Grandpa Boren lived.
This is the backyard, Grandpa Boren's house, and even him being a plumber and building the house, there was an outhouse out back, and we had to go out to the outhouse and use a Montgomery Ward magazine for our toilet paper.
For toilet paper?
Yes. Either a Sears Roebuck Wish Book one or a Montgomery Ward for the toilet paper.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
well?
Yes, there was a well in the back, and Grandma Boren did her washing and hung her clothes out on the line in the backyard. They had a farm
Okay.
down at Crab Orchard Lake, a farm.
I did Hillbilly Jim, you said.
Hillbilly Jim
Yeah, tell us
was
about
Lynn
Hillbilly Jim.
Carroll's horse. Uncle Wessie bought the horse for her. A Tennessee walking horse, a retired Tennessee walking show horse. Uncle Wessie bought it for her and the twins, mainly for Lynn Carroll. But my cousin was always so sweet. She knew how much I loved horses, and she always let me ride Hillbilly Jim. And that's the only way he got any exercise, because Lenny and the twins weren't much interested in riding him.
So you're saying 16 and a half
16 and a half highs.
Hands.
Hands
Is that
high.
how they
That's
measure
how you
horses?
measure a horse
By hands,
for his
yeah.
height. Right.
Wow.
And that's a big horse, 16.
I think we have a picture of Hillbilly Jim
In
with,
front of the
yeah,
house.
so I'll
Yes.
add that right here.
Okay, great.
There we go. And then it'll be right there.
This is the road I would use to go get Hillbilly Jim. And I'd have to call him in from the fields, and he knew I had a piece of sugar cube for him, so he'd come running. And then I had to put all his tack on him, his
Wow.
bridle, his saddle.
Wow.
And it was hard because he was so tall. So I made him do a show stance where his front feet would go up forward, his back feet were in the back.
Yeah.
And then I could get the saddle and the bridle on. Also, he didn't like to take the bridle and the bit. He would, I had to stick my thumb into the back of his mouth, press down on his tongue to get him to open his mouth and take the bit. Turn around. But that's where the farm was. And
Oh wow!
fields
At the
were
end
behind
here,
those
back
trees.
here, and Hillbilly Jim was
This was all not here. The school.
yeah,
But this was
and
and right out here was the clothesline. I ran into the clothesline.
oh,
with him.
where you ran into the clothesline riding him?
Mhm.
Oh,
right here.
mom!
But back there was all the fields.
Oh
and
wow!
everything,
Yeah,
so-
where it's all wooded.
Right. And the clothesline was right there. I'm riding around in this area, getting ready to go. He goes under the clothesline, catches the saddle, and
Oh yeah, the saddle horn.
and the saddle, and he pulls down the lines, wire
Wow.
lines of the laundry thing. He starts bucking. I'm thrown off into the air.
Wow.
Landed. Luckily, I only got a scratch on my leg from the wire, and he's running around the house with the laundry post
Oh.
and the wire.
He's lucky
with
he
it.
didn't get seriously
Yes.
hurt.
Oh yeah, it tore up the saddle, but he didn't get hurt or
And
anything.
it's lucky you didn't get seriously hurt.
Right. And so that's right there.
Wow, that's wild. And did
We can
did you know the
go all the way
neighbors
back.
where that happened?
No, because there was nothing around here.
Oh,
It was
there's
just
no
that farmhouse there.
Oh, but they happened to have the.
Yeah, and that's where Hillbilly Jim was kept. in
Okay.
the farm field. And
Okay.
And the guy, he might have even just been a part of the family. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But he kept the horse there for Lynn Carroll.
And can you tell us about how he's a Tennessee walker? Did he still
well,
have that walk?
He was a show horse, and he had the running walk. They call it a running walk. It's like you're sitting in a rocking chair. It's the smoothest gait.
And did he still have the walk, or just not as high?
Oh no, he still did the running walk. When I would
Nice.
kick him, he would go from a walk into the running walk,
Wow.
and it was like you're on a rocking chair.
About
It's
how
just
far-
smooth.
How far would you ride him? Like for
Oh.
miles, or?
Oh yeah, up to Lenny's house, to Grandma's, to the fields behind that house where we saw, which was, there's too many trees there now, but there was lots of farm fields back there.
Ah, okay.
And that's where Cora lived. She came from Grandma's house back to that house and then out into the fields to tell me Grandma said come home, and that's when I said, well, I'll give you a ride back.
Oh, so that's where
that's
Cora
where
Lou came.
Cora Lou
Yeah.
got bucked off.
Wow.
And
Right
she-
over the same area where those fields out there.
Yeah, and where that house is, and she ran all the way back crying.
Oh, poor
to
sweet
Grandma's
Cora
house,
Lou.
I rode back, but she ran back.
She didn't want to ride back.
She never rode a horse ever
Right,
again.
again. And she never-
Not that she even rode one night.
So all those boys and everything lived in that house when they were little, growing up.
Oh yeah, because up in the attic, he divided the attic into different rooms. It was almost like a dorm upstairs.
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa lived downstairs
So
in their bed. Actually, the bedroom was right off the living room. Can you imagine your bedroom right off the living room?
is that the one where the baby rolled over and got injured?
I don't know.
That house, remember from the fireplace?
Oh no, that was Grandma Cotter.
Grandma
when
Cotter.
she
Okay.
was, living in Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Okay.
Woodsy type area.
Okay.
And somebody dropped her. She was a baby and she rolled into the fireplace.
Grandma Cotter. Yeah.
And got burned on the coals.
That's
And-
terrible.
And I remember Grandma Cotter always had a yellow scar down the side of her cheek
Mm.
from being burned by those coals.
Poor Grandma Cotter.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine having a house full of that many kids.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really
Well,
is.
They were all different ages, and the older ones, Aunt Beanie, Aunt Berenice, it's pronounced, but Aunt Beanie, and the older ones would help take care of the younger ones as each one came along. You know,
Yeah.
And it spiraled down. Grandma's Boren would get help from the older ones, you know.
And was your dad the youngest?
No, Aunt Martha Jane was the youngest.
Okay.
I think my dad was about the third youngest.
Okay.
5 brothers, 5 sisters.
5 brothers, 5 sisters. And then the baby that passed away, are you
You
including?
had the picture.
Yeah. So would that have been 11?
Yes.
Wow, 11 children.
Sweetie, would you like that one?
So you need to have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one in memory of Grandmacita.
Yeah, and then one's with her. She's got the cherry. You know, the orange.
So I have to have 2 chocolates.
No, you can have one.
You have one. I had the licorice one. Which one did you get, Mom?
Orange.
Orange? Oh, those are good.
Oh, they're all good.
Yeah,
Right. They're all good.
that's great. I love that you did that, David. That was really sweet.
Yeah, and it's nice it went into the grave.
And also that we could put a rose in there with
Yes, and a
Grandmacita.
rose. I didn't think of any, I hadn't even thought of anything.
I didn't even think about it, but the rose and the
so-
chuckles are perfect.
All right, now we are going to the Boren Family Reunion at the Carbondale
The Heron.
Heron Civic Center. Let's go inside.
And this is here. It said Boren, going to the Boren Family Reunion.
Let me get the door for you, Mom.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Here was another Boren.
My sign here is my grandfather, so that's about 120 years old. So he had different locations in the town for his business from his farm, and he was a meat person originally. He butchered animals, then brought them up here. He loved to be a cowboy type,
What a
and
great
he
photo.
used to drive. So that's Thomas Boren. He used to go on horseback.
He looks like Daddy Rusty.
And so this is my grandfather and his wife Lillian.
So you, David, you would be a cousin of my mom?
Yeah, my dad, Ray, and James Russell are first cousins. So Thomas, my grandfather, and James Dallas are brothers. So
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Grandpa Boren, this is his brother.
yes, this is one of them.
I love that. I mean, look what he's wearing now.
Oh, it's
So,
incredible.
so that's
That's
about
a great picture.
1900. So my wife Amy has a photo of her grandfather doing the same thing, and he was a big horseman. And my cousin Kelly here said that he desired to be a cowboy too, you know, and so.
And so we were talking about like the veterans of Spanish-American War.
Yes.
Grandpa Boren was Spanish-American War, but he was not. Does he have any ancestors to the Civil War?
We do. Yeah, I found those this year, and Grandpa Lemons, and this Melissa Ann Crane is his second wife. His first wife, Lorinda Dunn, they had Isaac, Reuben, and James Riley, and then there's supposed to be a few more kids, and those younger ones all died, and Lorinda died. So Isaac and Reuben both were in the Civil War down in Vicksburg on the campaign. Isaac dies in LaGrange, Tennessee in the hospital before really the Vicksburg.
From his wounds?
Most of the men died from sickness, you know,
Or
drinking
like
bad
malaria
water.
or something.
Yeah, malaria, bad water, just
Consumption, isn't that what they called it?
David, an artifact. How can you not
Yeah,
get me over here to
so
see that?
can you tell me the last names of the Civil War veterans again, just so we have it documented? It's the first and last names.
So those are Isaac Boren, who's buried in Memphis National Cemetery.
Isaac Boren, okay.
Like I said, he died in LaGrange, Tennessee in the hospital. Then Reuben was in Vicksburg, and then they ended up getting 3 of them. And there was 3 Borens got captured at Price's Crossroads. Right after that, Guntown. That was when the Wizard in the Saddle,
Oh, yeah.
Forest. They captured a bunch of them,
Nathan
and
Bedford Forrest.
so there was Reuben, Moses, a cousin, and another cousin, William Henry, all went to Andersonville.
Oh my goodness, they went to Andersonville?
Reuben got exchanged, but Moses and William Henry both died at Andersonville.
At Anderson. Oh
So,
my
and there's
goodness.
confusion on their burials. And
Oh
stuff.
my
That's what I was
goodness.
wondering where they were buried.
Yeah,
Maybe
and-
they weren't.
Moses' grave has William Henry's marker on it. So
And have you been able to trace any photos of them from the Civil War?
it's so
I have to put my glasses on.
You look like a rock star with it.
It's okay.
Kelly just helped me find this. And then here's the second 40 acres that he bought, and John Tyler was president. That was in 1844, 6
Always
years
in
later.
40 acres? They always did it in 40 acres.
It was always 40 acres and a mule
Yeah,
type of
it
thing.
seems like, yeah, it's always 40 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get a picture of those other tables.
But he's written this book and I cannot find it. I beat this book up so much.
Childhood.
Exactly back then. And what he named that child? William. So this becomes a bane of my research when it's the same name for generations. But the British came in and they arrested Joseph and his son. And
This article was read by Velma Christie Troutman during the noon hour of the first Boren Reunion held at Riverside Park, Murfreesboro, Illinois, on August the 20th, 1939.
Ethan and Amanda have that I wanted us to go take a picture of.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's down on Monroe. Right
Oh, did you put the timer on? Sorry.
Okay, you want to see it?
Yeah.
See what it looks like? Okay, but check it before we all move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get my pants all messed up.
So, but, Mom, the Boren homestead back there, that was, you grew up in that house? But then you
No,
moved to
I
this?
grew up in Grand Tower.
Okay,
From the time I was born
right.
until I was about 5 years old.
Okay. But the-
Actually, until I was 10 years old, in Grand Tower. We would drive over here to visit
To
the
visit
residents, but I
your-
lived down in Grand Tower.
So you would go to visit your dad's side of the family?
Yeah, and I was born in Carbondale, but my grandparents were living in Grand Tower. So when I was a baby, my mom and dad he probably didn't have a job at the time, he wasn't in the military, took us to Grand Tower, and my early pictures are from Grand Tower.
So when you went to go to the horse, you had to travel all the way back this way.
Oh, you mean to ride to Hillbilly
Yeah,
Jim? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Or
yeah.
would you
But
spend the weekend?
I'd spend the summer.
Oh,
They'd
okay.
bring me up here and I could stay with Lynn Carroll. Remember,
wow.
I set up in the attic. She had her little room.
So you would
with
stay the whole
windows.
summer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's what I loved. I loved
Wow.
being up here in the summer and play with the twins and Coraloo. And,
Wow.
you know, we'd go out to Coraloo's house with the farm and go up in Uncle
Yeah.
Earl's barn and be up in the hayloft. And they had ropes hanging down from the top of the hayloft.
Fun.
And we'd swing on them and let go, and you'd go into a big giant haystack.
Aw.
You know,
That's
which
awesome.
was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'd watch the cows being milked, and then there were chickens running all over the place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, because it's kind of farm-like and everything.
Yeah.
And then Coraloo lived across the street from the barn and the farm. You know, in the house where we picked up Daddy Rusty's box.
Yeah.
Remember? And so they lived across the road from the barn and everything.
Did you have hot winters? Or
Oh,
hot summers,
cold.
sorry.
Yeah, we did, but as a child, I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
You know, but I do remember Grandma would have all the fans going down there at Grand Tower. We
Yeah.
had Westinghouse fans. Now this is the main drag through Murfreesboro, and we would come here from Grand Tower to go shopping and the movie.
Oh, okay.
And this is where Grandma Cotter would come and get her. I think that's the
Look at that
courthouse
building.
right there. I think that's the courthouse. Look at the old building across the street that's being torn down. But that's the courthouse
Yeah.
where she would go to get the stamps, so you
Yeah.
could get sugar and
Wow.
flour and stuff.
Ration stamps.
Yeah, Jackson County Courthouse. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So the
let's
ration
see.
stamps.
Yeah, the ration stamps. We would go there. I walked all along these streets here, the little stores and stuff. The movie, you see the movie marquee right up here on the left, where I would come with my little red,
Oh, I see it. It's
my
still
little
there.
red seat. Yep, still there.
That's crazy.
And when we get past it, I think the drugstore is still there, where the pharmacist would set me up on the counter and pretend that I was his little child, you know.
The movie theater's still there.
And look at all these little storefronts. I mean, it's little town America.
Look at, was it called Liberty?
I don't know.
Like that?
I don't know what it was called, but that's the movie theater where I was. And here on the right here with the flowers and stuff, that right there was Mansfield Law Office. That's
where the drugstore was?
The drugstore was. Oh, and then there's another thing. Actually, that's where Grandmacita Grandma caught her.
Egyptian Fitness Center.
That's where she got the stamps. It wasn't the courthouse. Actually, the courthouse was where they actually had a hanging.
That's the story I remember.
Yeah, the hanging.
They had a hanging.
And all the people came, you know,
Yeah.
it was a real big deal
Yeah.
at the courthouse. But that other building was where she got the
Were you a
tax
kid
stamps.
when you were there? Were you there at the hanging?
No, of course not. But we heard the story.
Was it a lynching or a criminal?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a legal hanging.
Okay,
Yeah.
like he got the death penalty.
Yeah.
Do a court of law.
Back then when they actually when they did the death
Wow.
penalty. And I fell into the water. I was looking into it and I fell over
Wow.
and I went upside down in the water and I didn't know which way was up or down.
Scary.
And it scared me. I thought I was going to drown. I was just a little tiny kid. And finally I just popped up to the surface. But I remember somersaulting
Wow.
under the water, not knowing
But you
which way
said
was
you
up
didn't
or
know how
down.
to swim either, though.
No, I didn't.
So
I didn't.
who got you out?
Well, I don't know. I think I
The
just came
lifeguard.
up and you know, and maybe somebody actually was
No lifeguard
watching
on
it.
duty, I don't know.
All I just remember is being underwater, going upside down, and not knowing which was up or down. And this bridge right here, this is the way you go out of Murfreesboro, and it's always been there, that railroad bridge, and we would
That's
all drive.
wild.
And this is the way the road looked like back then, 2-lane,
Yeah.
you know, coming up from Grand Tower. And the next stop will be Grand Tower.
Yay,
So back there at Centennial Park was the first time you saw fireworks?
Yes, as a little girl, I was scared to death. You know, looking up there and all this fires coming down, and because I was really little, I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and that's how old I was about when I fell in the pool there.
Yeah.
And went upside down in the water.
Ben's
This-
age.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Apples and peaches, things like that. And the shiny forest. You know, the shiny forest.
With the watering.
Yeah. You'd have to farm that now. You know, we could go see
No,
it.
that was fresh.
Yes, it was very fresh, and they would cut it up for Grandma, and then we would take it over to Murphy.
Would you put it in an ice box or something?
Well, yeah, there was a big big ice locker type
Okay.
thing, like a storage.
Oh, like a
we
big,
have
like
storage
deposit
thing.
box?
Yeah, it
And
was
you put your meat in the deposit box?
Yeah, but it was a company. You didn't. But
Yeah.
you had your own box.
Yeah.
You
It's
had
like your own little locker
stuff.
box for
Right,
your
locker
meat.
box. It was a deep freeze building.
That's
And-
crazy. Are you
and
listening to this, David?
And then whenever we come over to Murphy, she could get out like some ribs or pork chops or
That's
stuff.
wild.
And right off of
And
your,
how long would that pig last? Like 6 months or something?
I can't remember. I was just a little kid.
Taking that long, I'd say for me.
I mean, it's a big pig. I mean, it wasn't some little pig, you know.
So she
It
didn't
was
have like a
huge.
freezer,
Well, she did at her house.
but it wasn't
eventually.
big enough to fill.
No, you
fit.
can't put the whole pig in there.
Wow.
You know, there's so many pieces and parts to it. They can chop it all up for you.
Did she do the ears at all, or the?
No, but she did the pig's feet.
She did eat pig's feet.
Yeah.
Was Scrapple a thing yet or not yet?
It might have been. And I had concrete, and this was gravel.
Wow.
And right here on the left was a little farm, and she had beehives, and we would get our honey right here at a little farmhouse on the left, and among those trees. I don't know if there's a house left there. No, it looks like it's gone, but that's where the beehives were.
I see
and the
remains.
Where,
The house
in
right
there?
there,
Oh,
yeah.
a foundation.
Yeah,
You see the
foundation.
foundation?
Yeah.
Oh, I do
Now,
it.
be
I
careful
Like
so you
bricks.
don't go off into the ditch on the right. And as I say, this is a gravel road to the power plant. Those were alfalfa fields to the left.
Is it still alfalfa?
There was a wonderful persimmon tree down here as we go around a curve with persimmons, and we would stop and pick them up off the ground.
Is your seatbelt on?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. There you go.
And it was like a big old persimmon tree that kind of branched out over the highway here.
Uh-huh.
And we would get the persimmons that were laying on the
Oh,
highway
that's my
and stuff.
seatbelt.
And it
Somebody,
was,
is it still there?
That's me.
oh, it's you. Oh.
Is it still there?
What, the
What's
tree?
it? Is that
No.
a bridge over there?
Yes, that's the gas pipeline. Remember that horrible smell
Yes.
from the gas? That's down where Grand Tower is. But we're heading toward the power plant.
And it was all gravel.
And yes, this is gravel. We couldn't drive this fast on it. You had to drive very slow
Yeah.
on the gravel. And there's the house where the ducks were, little geese and ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, when I was a little girl, I saw a flaming meteor come down,
Oh.
like you did.
Like me?
Right in
During
front
the
of
day
you.
or nighttime?
There's the plant.
Hey,
There's the flower plant.
we made it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's go in there because if it's closed down, we'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
Was the meteor at nighttime
No,
or during
daytime.
the day?
Like
So you
we're-
saw a flaming meteor like me?
Yes, in the car like this, Grandma and Grandpa's car, and it streaked right across. Yeah.
Whoa.
In the daytime.
Isn't this the hills where you thought the mountain lions were?
No, down where we
Where you
lived.
could hear them?
At the park. No, this is just some houses that were out here. We heard them above where I live there at the power plant.
Still there.
Yep. And then we'll be taking the road to the left to go down to Grand Tower, but we'll still keep heading forward to the power
Why,
plant.
so why would that house have ducks and geese?
I just raised them. You know,
Okay.
they sold duck eggs and,
Okay.
you know. But, oh my gosh, and look, the power plant expanded. There weren't those big, tall
Gray stacks.
stacks. No, that's the new part of the power plant. The old part had shorter stacks.
Were you able to see it
Go
though on the
slow.
road though when you
Go
came
slow.
in?
Yes, well, now as you come around the corner, you can see the power
Okay,
plant.
yeah.
But, oh my gosh, that is massive. That's not the way it was. And here on the left is the Pickens farm on the left. And we would get chickens and eggs there on the left. There's nothing there now.
It would be like the house there.
Yes, a house, barn, whole farm, and Mr. Pickens. And oh my gosh, look at it. Oh my gosh.
It's like wrapped
Oh my
in
gosh.
electrical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. And we would come
Oh
down
look,
this
there's
road.
people here. I wonder if they're working on the plant.
Well,
You see?
they're putting in some kind of pipeline. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they're stringing wire for the plant. But the plant is basically shut down now. Here's part of the levee. See the levee on the left? It's all grass and levee, and it cuts right across the field there. This was
Yeah.
all open. There was no levee here when I lived
Oh
here.
really?
Because right as we go over the top of the levee, just kind of pause
Okay.
on top of the levee. And this was not here, the levee. And there's the flat area that was just all field.
Pull in
I
there.
remember this. This is
and-
where your house was, right?
Right, well, I'll
Over
show
here?
you. And here on the left was Grandma and Grandpa's and other people's little gardens. You know, like
Over
you
here?
grow beans. And,
Like a
right between
local
here and
garden?
the fence. Right
Did
between here and the fence.
the power plant have those blue towers
No,
on it, or
no,
it's just
the power
brown? It's
plant-
just a brown building.
Right, and they were shorter back then. Now
Okay.
they have to have those things on there that make it go slow. Because right here's the turn into where those trees there. That's a tulip tree. I remember the tulip tree. They put something here, you know. But see the tulip tree, the road went right in there. And when we were here one time with Dad, it went right around the tulip tree up near the tree line there, and then it comes back around. You know how you see? But that's where I grew up right there.
So this is
Those
where the house
trees.
was, right here.
Yes, right up the street.
I remember this from our last visit. That cut
and
up there.
that's called a right-of-way.
Was that up there
Yeah.
before?
I think,
So
yes,
pull
that
over on the side
right-of-way
right here
was
with
there.
park.
Okay.
That right, and in
here.
fact, you know.
Yeah.
So Grandpa's power plant was that little section just right
Oh,
there.
just right there on the right-hand corner.
Yeah, on
But
the-
the silo, whatever that is.
Well, that's a little water thing.
Yeah, the water thing. Is that Grandpa's
Yeah.
power plant?
Yes.
Okay.
And see how it goes over?
Yes.
And then there's a building that goes
Yes.
up and over and then up and
Uh-huh.
over. Well, his was the smaller part.
So it was just that tiny one building.
Right. There, from there to there.
The tree, is that like
Yeah,
the tree
that's
that,
a tulip poplar.
is that your tree? Is it a witness?
Well, I was in the Raymond's yard, but we climbed in it.
That is it the same tree?
Yeah, that's the same tree. It's as old as I am.
Wow.
And then,
So there was a circular drive,
yeah.
and your house was here with a few other houses, and they played up that cut.
Right.
And didn't you hear mountain lions up there, Mom?
Yes, and this is the bluff. If all of that foliage was down, you would see rocks. See how the boulders are up there and everything? And the cookers would be up on the
Oh my God.
ridge line. And this was like all park, and they would mow this. It was all grass. And see that rock way over there? That might be Rose Rock against the tree line.
Yeah.
And it was just like a beautiful cut green grass, just smooth and nice. And
Those mountain lions are a little too close for my taste.
yes,
Right?
but all of this tree line was further back. There were houses up there.
Oh wow.
You know, Grandpa's flooded. The flood would come right up here to Grandpa's house from the Mississippi River.
But then they built a levee.
Yeah, because this all flooded, and there's nothing that smells worse than flood water. Okay, Grandma and Grandpa's house was right here on the corner, probably where that concrete slab is right there now. I don't know what that's for. And outside the house was a faucet, and I was out there playing, and I saw this big thing, and I went inside and told Grandma, there's a big worm outside. And she went out and looked, and it was a copperhead snake.
Oh my gosh.
And Grandma didn't mess with copperhead. She got her hoe, and it soon was missing its head, because none were going to be around her baby granddaughter.
And then you also Grandpa would let you drive the car into the
Oh yeah, he'd let me drive it right around here. I'd sit on his lap, and I could drive on this. This was all gravel road. It wasn't
and you
paved.
would sit on his lap and you drive, and you parked and you ran into the.
Oh, when we parked in the garage, and Grandpa didn't get his foot on the brake because I couldn't do the brake or the gas. He did the brake and gas. I did the steering. And we went into the back of the garage, and Grandma had her onions on. I was just as mad as a hornet at him.
That's funny.
And,
Look, there's an eagle feather right there.
an eagle feather?
No, it's not an eagle feather.
Oh, okay.
What kind of feather is it though?
I don't know. Big one. Big one.
That's a sign.
There you go.
That does look like an eagle feather. Are you sure that's not an eagle feather?
It kind of looks like an eagle feather to me, but I don't know.
Right up on that
You're out
bluff.
here
Cougar is up on that bluff.
Yes, on that bluff right there.
That's insane.
And I would come out and play all around here by myself, and
They
you know,
could have come down and snatched
yeah,
you.
especially out in the park part. It's all grassy over there near Rose Rock.
Wow.
And the park went all the way down. I think we better get back in the car because it's so hot.
It is.
But
What's
oh,
over there
sweetie,
at the
so
bluffs?
memories.
Have you ever-
Follow Jerry from over there, our house is out into this field, and follow along as he was looking for arrowheads. And he even found a axe head, you know, like this, about that big. Found an axe head.
That's amazing.
And actually, they say some Indian fights were here in this flat area. Yes.
Well, that makes sense. If you
Warring
found them.
tribe against warring tribe in this
Wow.
area.
Well, it
But
makes
you
sense
see
with
so
all
many
arrowheads, yeah.
And actually it was axe head. I remember what it looked like. It was that shape.
That's amazing.
It was gray. Had a little place where you could put the wooden handle stick and
Wow.
tie it on with the
Wow.
sinew.
That's amazing. Incredible.
The building where the truck is coming
Okay.
out was the candy store where Grandpa would buy his cigarettes, and he would buy me candy cigarettes, but it's now a garage.
It looks like a garage, yeah.
But that was the little candy store right here. And you can actually see the square windows, which would be like for a little open business. It's like a little corral area for horses.
that's
and
the
look at,
pipe
there's
those
the
guys are working
pipeline.
on.
The pipeline.
Yeah, that's what the guys
Oh wait,
are
go right here, Devil's Backbone Park and Campground, right here on the right. And that's where the little switch engine was. When the coal was delivered to the plant, the switch engine would take the coal and pull it around to where it was needed. The big locomotive would back down and go back out. There,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Oh, and look at the barge coming up the Mississippi. You got to get a picture of that.
Wow.
Maybe even a. Oh, look, this is our campground. Yeah, that's the campground.
Umbrella time. Making sure. Yep. Okay. There's David with the barge coming. I'm gonna make my way down. Okay, I'm not going out in the water. Okay, what's the joke?
Oh, but it's been filming you this whole time.
What?
Yeah, it's running around.
Bruh.
Stop.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I got a joke for you. I'm in the Mississippi River, and I can spell Mississippi with one I.
Oh, I know this joke,
Can you?
but you have to do it.
Mississippi.
Woo! Look at that. That's amazing. there's Mom way up there. Hold on, I'm gonna go. Mom! There's Mom up at the park where they would have the catfish fry. She's telling us to come back. Get out of the river! Get out of the river! Get out of the river, David! I can't believe I was filming myself the entire time.
Come on.
So fun.
One of the ladies, Mrs. Cox, lived along here. She was very religious. She gave me a Bible. I still have it. She wrote in it to Gwendolyn, sweetest little person. Now, where this house is, right here.
Cute house.
Huh?
The cute house.
Yes, it is cute. Right here was the elementary school.
Wait, right here?
Right here.
Where these
or else
houses
it's
are?
where this brick thing is, and put up the waterworks. Yeah, this would be where my little elementary school was.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. And then here's the end of the street. This is Keller's department store right here on the left. Look how old that is.
Oh yeah,
The
look at
old
that.
brick,
Look at that.
It had the pause at the stop sign. Don't go anyplace. It had the old thing. Look how the windows are all chipped.
And look at the
right?
stars at the top.
Yeah, the stars. This is very, very old. This is probably the late 1800s stuff. And,
Going left or right?
we're going to go right. But they had the money. You put it in a little tube, and it went on a wire up to the second floor. They did your change, and then it came back down with your change on the wire. You know?
What? And it,
This is the top
Keep
of the
filming this. I'm
living.
gonna turn left.
We'll go to the
look
right.
at the front of it.
I'm just doing this so we can see.
Look at the
okay.
front.
And I got to get a picture of me in front of this.
Yeah.
You know, oh, look, it's falling apart. Look at its tar roof. It's falling apart.
She wanted to tell us, or she wanted a picture of it?
Went to the Methodist church. Jerry Lee Klotz and Barbara and the Klotzes, they went to that church. I went to this one because our next door neighbors took me. Grandma and Grandpa didn't take me, the next door neighbors. And this is the Southern Baptist Church. No lipstick, no makeup, no drinking.
No dancing.
Nothing. It's
Right.
strictly Southern Baptist. Real
Right? You
tight.
couldn't dance, right?
And I sat on those steps and, went to church there. And along this street was a house, friends of my grandparents and my mother. And we heard that they had a cat that had baby kittens. So we came, they wanted to show me the kittens and for them to see the kittens because they love that. And we were getting ready to go home. I came back out to the car on the edge of the street here and I got in the back seat. And then a little bit later, grandmother and my mother came out, got in the car. And when they got in the car, I said from the back seat, Mama, we got no any kitten. Or I got no any kitten. You know, I hear her volunteering. I got no any
And
kitten.
there were
Well,
no mews. You just basically gave yourself up.
I gave myself away. And then they looked and there was a little kitten in the back.
What color was it?
I think it was a little orange one.
I bet he was the cutest little thing ever.
Orange thing, you know, little tiny baby.
So funny. And then they had to bring the.
I got no any kitten.
I got no any kitten.
Yeah, and the broken English.
And then they had to turn around and
take the kitten back.
take the
Yeah,
kitten back.
First of all, I was too young to leave its mother and everything.
Okay, so let's
This
look at
street
this.
is
Let's get a picture of the movie theater right here with the
Okay.
girl on the side.
And I'm interested in reading that plaque on
great.
that building over
Oh, on the
there.
other building?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let me back up.
I'm gonna pause the
Yeah, you can grab it. See, look, there's Grand Tower postcards that I'd love to be able to see.
She's very shy.
Wow.
Do you want to get a picture of
And the Klutz were your friends, right, Mom? The boy that you would follow.
Yeah, Jerry Lee. This is the brother of Jerry Lee, the parents of Jerry Lee. Can you kind of get a picture?
Yeah.
Me?
And is Jerry Lee passed away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not buried here.
I think he's buried in Florida.
Okay.
When I and I played with dolls, and we, played in the power plant park. And I remember going for dinner at the Klutz's house.
Yeah.
And they really didn't make much more money, so our dinner would be beans and ketchup.
Beans
That
and
was the
ketchup.
dinner.
Wow.
And then one time, Jerry Lee would shoot squirrels and stuff, and they would have squirrel brains
Wow.
for dinner.
Squirrel
know?
brains?
Yeah, squirrel brains or
And
rabbit brains.
What was his job at the power plant?
Cletus, something to do with the boilers. You know, you shovel the coal into the boilers.
I had no idea. Really?
Noel didn't mention anything. Oh my God!
No.
We just lost power
No.
right before I got my steak, and everybody got their steak.
And your beer. You think you
My
can still
beer.
get your beer?
Second time this has happened.
And we had a lightning strike.
Power's out in the hotel. So I want to see if I can get in my room. Let's see. It's a little creepy. Huge storm that came through.
I didn't even notice it this morning when we were walking around. Link Harrell, my cousin, was instrumental in getting this memorial park right here.
Veterans listed from, it looks to be World War I, Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, Gulf War, and Afghanistan. World War II. Oh, they're missing the Merchant Marine.
And here's our uncles. Joe.
Oh,
Joe Boren.
wow,
There's
look at
Uncle
that.
Joe.
Look at
And
them.
Johnny. Joe and Johnny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is Gentry.
Yeah, a gentry. And then Carterville's very proud of their gazebo there too.
Oh,
But
yeah?
That's new. That was never there when I was growing up. Very proud.
So now there's no car. So who was instrumental in making this?
My cousin Link Harrell.
Yep.
My cousin.
Now we're downtown Carterville. This is the main street. It's probably, what, 2 blocks?
Yeah.
And
At 3 at the most.
3 at the most. We just passed back there where my mom would get some grape soda.
Yep, and Grandma and Grandpa Boren's house is down the
Yeah.
street
But we're
with the
gonna,
high school.
and then we'll go take a look at this movie theater.
And
so.
Mom would literally walk here.
And right. And
Right.
also I remember going to the movie theater, and one of the first movies I saw there was Humphrey Bogart and The Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Cool.
That's a
Well, let's
classic.
go look down there. Jeff Cox. I'm gonna zoom in on Mom over there. Mom hanging out at the movie theater. What I like is the metal.
Yeah, that's solid.
This is even. I mean,
That's original.
that's like.
That's all original. I think it's like a reinforces like
Names are on them.
like the name of the business.
Brickwork. Mm-hmm.
You know, see B.H. Carter. You know, are these all the people that owned it? Right, Zimmerman's.
But there's nobody behind it, so we can poke along.
Yeah, they all have names. Like this one got refurbished on the
Yeah,
front, unfortunately.
Yeah.
P, you know, and Ellis Store.
Yeah.
You don't
I think-
recognize the names, or
I think that's the one that was the furniture store where they were behind the.
wow,
where
the scandal.
I think it's right
the
there.
scandal right there.
26. Made it.